Hello there, it's Sarah from Paper Lovely. Thanks for joining me today. I've got a Happy Mail video to share with you. Today I'm going to create a flip book, and this is again for a swap bot exchange. So the theme was something travel related, and I thought this was a perfect excuse for me to use the Crate Paper Here and There collection. I picked this up the same time that I picked up the Flourish collection, and I've been so obsessed with that one that I haven't had a chance to touch this one yet. So I had a lot of fun playing with this. Here you'll see I'm creating a shaker window. I've used a piece of several pieces of the ephemera just to create a little bit of a background there. And I'm using my We Are Memory Keepers fuse tool to create the edges of my pocket. Then I'll go ahead and add some sequins in there and seal up the edge. And then while I was at it, I went ahead and grabbed one of my waterfall sleeves. I've been using these a lot for sequin shares. They are super handy. They've got that extra flap, and you just dump your sequins in, pour the flap over, and then secure it with some washi tape. For one of my other goodies, I'm going to include some washi tape. So I've chosen some from my collection, and sorry I'm off camera a little bit there, but most of these are from the Here and There collection, and then I mixed in a few different ones that I thought matched really well. I'm just using a piece of acetate there that has a little bit of a print on it. That way once the washi's gone, it'll be a little something extra that my recipient can use. I also recently purchased a button making machine, so I've created some little flare pieces that I cut out from the 6x6 pattern paper, and I'm just attaching those buttons to a background paper using some removable glue dots. Next I'm going to get these packaged up, and I always save the packaging that my ephemera and things come in, because that way it's the perfect thing to use when I want to make something of my own. So I pulled out a piece of that there, trimmed down my backing paper, and here I'm just creating a little topper. I've trimmed that down. I think I ended up going, I think it was about 4 by 2, and then I scored it in the middle at 1 inch. So I'll just fold that over there, and then I'll staple that down. And I did leave the flap with the sticky edge at the bottom, that way they won't have to tear it open in order to get those out. Here I'm going to go ahead and trim down some of the papers. I ended up going 6 inches by I think 4 3/4. And I cut out several pages there. It was nice that these were double-sided, so I was able to use 2 from 1 page in some cases. And here I'm just going to go ahead and lay out how I want this to flip. Now I have left all of this in here because most of the designing was done with it laid out like this. But I took these pages and I taped them together using some washi tape, and I was a little overambitious. I used a lot of stickers and a lot of the chipboard pieces, and it just made it too thick that when I tried to fold it over, it was not going to work. So you'll see me put it all together like this, and then at the end you'll see I end up actually taking it all apart, and then I will make some punch some holes in it and use some jump rings to place it together. So again, I'm using the Here and There collection, and I've got some of the chipboard, the ephemera, and the cardstock stickers. And I think that is most of what I used. I made this a little over a week ago, so sorry if I don't remember everything, but I think that is mostly what it is. And if you have any questions, of course, let me know in the comments below, and I'm happy to give you any additional info. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and turn up the music and let you enjoy the process video, and then I will be back again at the end. Okay, so at this point I am fiddling around with this and trying to get everything to fold and realizing that the tape is not going to work. I did actually go back and add some extra on the front and or back sides depending on how this was supposed to flip, and it just was not going to hold. So I ended up just cutting those apart. I did leave some washi on some of the pages and I took it off on some of the others. And then because of the way it had flipped, some of the things were upside down, so I did end up having to pull some things off and glue pages together to make sure that things were right side up as you flipped through the book. And then I ended up with this final page where I'm going to add these flare buttons here and then a few stickers off to the side. Once I was happy with my layout, I went ahead and punched a hole using my Crop-A-Dile about 1 inch in from either end of the top and bottom of the flip book. And then there I've got some 1-inch jump rings, and I'm just going to place everything in order. For a little something extra, I'm going to add some trimmings, and I'll just tie those over the top jump ring. And here I'll give you a real-time look at the finished product. I've got my shaker window on the front. I did attach that with removable dots so that the recipient can reuse it if she'd like to. I've got a little piece of chipboard as well as a subway ticket there. Here I've got a tag that I added a little bit more of that trimming to, and I did some stamping up in the corner. Again, I added this sequin share using some removable adhesive. Next, that will be my little letter, which I wrote after the filming. And then off to the side there, I've got some envelopes that I made using the new mini punch board. I did also create some little note cards that will fit inside there as well. And then there I've got some ephemera share as well as my washi share that I tucked inside that pocket. And then finally the last page has some flare buttons. So that will complete the video for today. I hope I was able to give you some inspiration for your next Happy Mail. You'll find additional photos as well as a full list of supplies at my blog post linked in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a comment or a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.